Hello again, I'm Sarah O'Connell. Welcome to the second episode, and indeed,
welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show.
if you're lovely enough to watch the first episode, you'll know that my attempts to get a suntan didn't go too well, but with my friends Victoria and James due to get married, congratulations by the way, I was determined to get a little bit of colour. So I thought I'd investigate the wacky world of spray tans. Now I was a bit worried about this because I didn't want to end up looking like the love child of Donald Trump and an Oompa Loompa, or perhaps taking a bath in a vat of cheesy Wotsits, which is not a good look. But nevertheless, I investigated and decided to go for it. With an appointment booked, they give you a list of do's and don'ts, such as exfoliating away any dry skin the day before, not using any makeup or creams on the day just to ensure the best possible application. When you think of tans, you tend to associate them with warmth, be it from the sun on holiday or from a sunbed, which is a bit more like standing next to an electric fly zapper in a chip shop. Once undressed, they ask you to stand in a small tent. Now the spray itself smells like coconut, which is very tropical, but it feels like you're being snowed on. It is absolutely freezing. So the lady asks you to stand in several different positions to make sure she's got your entire body covered, but you must be very careful when you reply to her, because you're quite likely to get a giant mouthful of spray tan if you don't. And it does not taste delicious. Some of the spray will collect around your elbows and knees, but she told me that's perfectly normal and not to worry about it. The lady advised not to go out at all that night because the tan would get progressively darker until you wash it off in the morning. Now there's a slight problem with that, and that I was actually planning on going to the cinema. Anyone in the cinema would have seen me go in one colour and come out another and wonder what the hell is going on. I was probably thinking I'd sat too close and got some kind of screen burn or something. Fortunately, I didn't look too bad when I came out of the cinema, so I decided to visit my mum for a cup of tea. Now that was supposed to be the end of this story. Unfortunately, a couple of drops dripped off of the cup and landed on my leg, taking the suntan with it. I was hoping that the tea stain would somehow match the spray tan and nobody would notice, but thankfully after speaking to the beautician, she advised just to wash it off and hopefully it'll be the same colour and it had taken, and thankfully it had, and the wedding was fantastic. In the first episode, I discussed my top 10 movies of 2016 so far. This week, I'd like to reveal the 10 biggest movies I'm still looking forward to this year. Now, of course, none of them have come out yet, so there's every chance some of them could be a bit pants. But fingers crossed they're not, and let's get on with the list. Set 20 years after the original, Independence Day Resurgence reunites a lot of the original cast apart from Will Smith, and promises to blow up even more CGI landmarks. As it happens, the film's being released on the same day as the EU referendum vote in the UK, which will probably be to cash in on people's fictional fears of aliens. On the 15th of July, the Ghostbusters are back, so who are you going to call? Well, not the original cast. In fairness, one of the original cast members has sadly died, but then again, that didn't stop Slimer. The exciting new female cast includes Melissa McCarthy, Kristen Wiig, Kate McKinnon and Leslie Jones. Chris Hemsworth plays Kevin the receptionist, who, according to the trailer, gets possessed by a ghost. This will undoubtedly delight his fans as he'll finally get to put the willies up them. I personally love that there's an all-female roster of Ghostbusters this time round, but some people on the internet have been furious. But then I can also assume that they're scared to go into post offices and banks because they're so frightened of change. The BFG is the long-awaited sequel to JFK. No, that's not right. Based on a book by Roald Dahl and directed by Steven Spielberg, the BFG absolutely cannot go wrong. Well, unless it's got crystal skulls in it. In the film, an orphan named Sophie befriends a 24-foot big friendly giant who she hopefully didn't meet on the internet. Now, I was a huge fan of the 1989 animated version voiced by David Jason, so the new live-action version has got incredibly big shoes to fill when it comes out on the 22nd of July. Matt Damon is born again on the 27th of July as Jason Bourne. The super spy will finally get his memory back and hopefully help us forget about the disappointing spin-off starring Jeremy Renner. I cannot wait. Swimming into cinemas 2 days later is Finding Dory, a sequel to my favourite Disney Pixar film. The original cast is returning, and that is not an inappropriate joke about fishing rods. The Suicide Squad features a group of incarcerated supervillains who are recruited to try and save the world. In a novel twist, they're bad on purpose, as opposed to in Batman vs Superman, which was bad by accident. Warner Brothers are already developing a sequel, which means that the Suicide Squad is sure to make a killing. Based on the best-selling novel, The Girl on the Train stars Emily Blunt and looks like it could be a really exciting thriller. Now, the fantastic thing about book adaptations is that it saves you the effort of actually having to read them, unless there's subtitles. Speaking of book adaptations, J.K. Rowling's fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them is the start of an exciting new trilogy starring Eddie Redmayne. Set in the 1920s, it's a long time before Harry Potter ever stepped foot in Hogwarts. The film will be working its magic in cinemas from the 18th of November. Disney's Mona is from the talented people that brought us The Little Mermaid and Aladdin. In the film, a Polynesian princess teams up with Dwayne Johnson to set sail to find a fabled island. Now, in my opinion, it's never a good idea to get on a boat with a giant rock, but I wish them the very best of luck when it's released on the 2nd of December. Rogue One, a Star Wars story, is set between episodes 3 and 4 and tells the tale of how the Death Star plans were stolen. Disney recently ordered an additional month of reshoots for the film, meaning the force is not yet strong, but provided they don't turn it into Jar Jar Binks musical, I'm sure it will do just fine. So there's some pretty exciting films still to come this year, so be sure to let me know which ones you're looking forward to in the comments. This week I thought that it'd be fun to share highlights from some of my favourite interviews and press conferences. A particularly fun one was at Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy press conference, where I asked them, if the Guardians were ever to meet the Avengers, who would they like to work with or perhaps collide with? Here's what they had to say.
I would like to see them kill Thor. No, this is true. Chris and I were driving the other day. Where were we going?
Thor's like the only one that came to the premiere too.
Yeah, Thor was
like the most supportive
I'm
Avenger.
kidding about Thor.
Let's kill Thor.
But Chris and I were driving somewhere the other day, and we were in the car, and we were in one of our ridiculous conversations, and we're talking about all the different things that could happen to the Guardians in this universe, as we do endlessly. You think we're sick of hearing about the Guardians? No, we talk about it constantly. And and he was saying, dude, seriously, I really, really think that Star-Lord should kill Iron Man. Like, the audience it would be so awesome if he came down and he shot Tony Stark in the face. People would be so surprised. Yeah, they would.
I think that would be awesome.
I know you do, I know.
Or if not me, maybe Rocket. Rocket. I don't know.
Does something to his heart, or like a shiny?
Because without giving away any, look, none of my ideas will ever make the movie, so I should just tell you all of them because it will never be a spoiler. I know that in the comic, Gamora and Iron Man, they have through the comics they've hooked up. And how does Peter Quill feel about that? Maybe he doesn't like it, and then maybe Rocket hears it that I don't like it, and then Rocket shoots Tony Stark. Minute 5, just blows a hole in his face. That would be amazing. People would be super mad, but it would be kind of great. You'd be like, what? How did you do that? And they're like, because Robert Downey Jr. makes $100 million a movie. We can't afford to have more.
Pratt's minimum wage.
Yeah, we can afford Pratt. He kills everyone.
I would pay good money to read the fan fiction you write. I think that answers your question.
The host later returned to the subject and asked them,
Yeah.
I just really want to ask what song will be playing when you kill Iron Man. Probably not Lionel Richie.
hello?
Credits roll. 7 minutes into the movie, it's over. Totally worth it.
And then the rest of the movie is like a Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah, it's just
we Robert Downey Jr.'s body to make the most out of his contract.
Skittering across the desert, with the Iron Man thrusters on.
He's flopping around. His dead body in the Iron Man costume.
Yeah, totally.
Somebody get up and ask a question. We're gonna keep going all the way.
I'm taking control of the situation. This is what it was like. One more question left. No.
I also attended the Focus press conference with Will Smith, Margot Robbie and Edith Bowman. Since the film is about confidence tricksters, I asked, because they've learned to read people's body language and do lots of tricks, have they returned to Las Vegas to try their new skills out?
Yeah, well, I went to Vegas with Apollo, which is a different way to go to Vegas. Well, first of all, because nobody allows you to go in anywhere with Apollo. They're like, no, he can't come in here. But he had me to try to, he said, listen, he wanted me to walk into a store, and he said, I want you to just pick something up, put it in your pocket, and walk out. And what you realize is it takes such courage to even try that, because I'm Will Smith, like, you know, it's like, that's a pretty good distraction. So,
Sure, they're just like, hi, yeah. They're just like, hi, hey, hi, take it.
But it's terrifying. It takes such absolute ice water in your veins to put your hand in somebody's pocket or grab something and take it. But it is. I realized, and what I learned with the character, it's also a thrill. It's like jumping out of an airplane. It's like speeding in a car. It's like being that close to someone turning around and saying, hey, what are you doing? You know, it's like, that is a serious, addictive kind of thrill.
So there you have it. Chris Pratt wants to kill Iron Man, and Will Smith has a very lucrative second career lined up if he ever needs the extra money. Now I've got loads of exclusive interviews lined up for future episodes, so please be sure to subscribe. If you enjoyed Captain America Civil War, you are going to love this week's competition. I'm giving away a Captain America digital morph suit which actually comes to life with the power of your smartphone. It's perfect for parties, for going shopping in, fighting crime, hailing Hydra, or even just lounging around the house in. If that wasn't enough, I'm also giving away Captain America Ultimate Guide to the First Avenger book, which features a fantastic foreword from Stan Lee. If you'd like to win these fantastic prizes, simply tell me in the YouTube comments below which superpower you would love to have. The competition is open to UK residents aged 18 years and over, and I'll let you know the winner next time. Best of luck. Well, that wraps it up for episode 2. Thank you again so much for watching, and please do subscribe, share and leave a comment if you enjoyed it. And I'll see you all again next week. Bye!